Welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. Today we're at Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. I thought I would do a walkthrough video of how you can get your allocated bottles here at the distillery. There's always a bunch of questions about what's available, how much prices are, and what the time frame is for when you can purchase another allocated bottle. So stick around as we walk through the distillery and explain all the information you need to know when you make your trip here to Buffalo Trace.
Well, once I was at the distillery, I decided it probably was easier for me to come back to the Bourbon Pour studio to share with you the information about all of the things we talked about in the intro. So I'm going to voice over this stuff just because there was a lot going on in the distillery. So the first thing that you need to know is that Buffalo Trace Distillery is located in Frankfort, Kentucky. It is easily accessible from Interstate 64. You'll want to take exit 53B. And then the distillery is really only 10 to 15 minutes from the interstate. There are multiple entrances to the distillery. As you can see here, I took the more scenic route that I like. You'll see the Buffalo Trace sign and take the road there with the green gate on each side. So once you arrive there into the parking lot, no matter which entrance that you use, you will be greeted by a parking attendant. They will direct you to the parking lot. Once you park your vehicle, it'll be pretty clear where to go to wait in line. So you'll be in the standing line there. This is where people refer to snakes. When they ask in the Buffalo Trace Daily group, how many snakes today? This is what they're talking about. So that line right there just snakes around from the closest and first people in line to the last. It will kind of revolve around those white lines that you see there. Now you'll want to check Buffalo Trace Daily or the Buffalo Trace website to see what allocated bottle is available. Usually that information is released about a half an hour before the gift shop opens. So the gift shop opens at 9 a.m. Monday through Saturday and then 11 a.m. on Sundays. So be sure to check that to find out what is available. Now, a few minutes before 9 a.m. or on Sundays 11 a.m., they will begin to move the line into the check-in area. This is in a separate building from the gift shop. So you'll want to have your ID ready just to make the line move a little bit quicker. You'll want to present your ID to the attendant as you enter that building, and they will take your ID and scan it, and then they will scan an RFID bracelet and put it around your wrist. That RFID bracelet and your ID log information allows them to know when you make your purchase to determine when your eligibility is for your next purchase on your allocated bottle. Once you get your bracelet, you're free to go to the gift shop. It's pretty easy once you leave that building to find it. You just walk across the parking lot. Upon entering the gift shop, you will walk through that area and walk through some of the merchandise, and the bottles will be located in the middle back to the left. So be sure to make your selection first and then look at the merchandise. Now, what allocated bottles are available for purchase on any given day at Buffalo Trace? Well, you have Blanton's Single Barrel, Eagle Rare 10-year, Weller Special Reserve, or Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch. What you won't see at the distillery is Blanton's Gold or Blanton's Straight from the Barrel or any of the other special releases. Eagle Rare 17-year, that's part of the BTAC collection, or Weller Single Barrel 12-year CYPB Antique 107 or Full Proof. And you will not see Colonel Taylor Straight Rye, Single Barrel, or Barrel Proof. Prices on bottles. What are the prices at Buffalo Trace? Well, Blanton's is going to be $63 plus tax. Eagle Rare will come in at $40. Weller Special Reserve at $30, and Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch at $45. There's a few other products available in the Buffalo Trace gift shop that you can also purchase. The regular standard Buffalo Trace offering will be available. I believe you can buy 2 of those per day per customer. And then Sazerac Rye, Bourbon Cream, and Wheatley Vodka. The allocated bottles are limited to 1 per person per 90 days. So in this case, in this video, I purchased Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch. I would not be eligible to purchase just Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch for another 90 days. But say I returned to the distillery on June 3rd and they were offering Weller Special Reserve. Well, I would be able to buy Weller Special Reserve not Colonel Taylor. So I'll still be able to purchase these 2 bottles. It's just these 2 that I am not eligible to purchase for another 90 days. There are multiple tours available at Buffalo Trace. You can book those online. So those are released, I believe it's on a Tuesday each month, and the calendar is released for the following month. But oftentimes, you will find whenever you go to Buffalo Trace Distillery, when you do the check-in with your bracelet, they will ask you if you would like a tour, if there are any available. It's just you don't want to go to the distillery without a tour booked, expecting a tour, because it might not be available. However, sometimes people don't show up, or they have more bookings, or they have less bookings than necessary. So be sure to ask whenever you arrive that if there are any tours available, you might be able to score one. There's a complimentary tasting bar above the gift shop, and that is a very cool area because you can taste a lot of the core offerings from Buffalo Trace, but it also has a wall of all of the master distillers and owners of the distillery throughout its history, including Colonel E.H. Taylor himself, George T. Stagg, William LaRue Weller, Elmer T. Lee, and a few other people that you see in this clip right here. Well, that's it for this video. There are a few other things that probably could be mentioned, but that's pretty much the basics of visiting Buffalo Trace and purchasing the allocated bottles. Be sure to subscribe to the Bourbon Pour for more content like this, as we are doing a summer series where we are documenting some of our travels and what you might expect whenever you're traveling to Kentucky and a few distilleries in the area this summer. So with that, as we always close every single episode, when you're with your family and your friends, always share your whiskey.